that has been the basis of the Superfund program. That should be the basis for the oil liability legislation. BP has said they will pay reasonable costs and that sort of thing. We shouldn't have to take their word for it. We shouldn't have to take the word of a company that has flagrantly cut corners in the past at huge cost to life and natural environment. Whether you're talking about the Texas City refinery, whether you're talking about the blowouts on the north shore, the north slope of Alaska, whether you're talking about the blowouts on the pipeline in Alaska, whether you're talking about failure to level with the American public and even with the Coast Guard and the experts on how much oil was escaping from this very well. You know, the number keeps shifting. And the oil company, I think, has not been fully forthcoming. So this company asks us to take their word for it that they will pay for the cleanup, that they'll pay for the environmental damages, they'll pay for the economic damages and dislocation. I want that established in law. This should be, the liability limit should be raised to many billions of dollars if there is a limit at all. Now, some here in the Congress, particularly from the other side, have said, well, but you'll drive out the mom and pop, you'll drive out the small independents. Well, you know, you have to have the ability to repair, well, to prevent and repair and pay for any damages when you go into business. The point of the oil liability legislation is not to protect small businesses, it's to see that it's to protect our environment and the life of American citizens and the well-being and economic opportunities for American citizens. And that is, and that means that the consideration should be how much damage can be done. And the liability limit should be large enough to cover the damage that can be done. Not to ask whether, oh, this is going to put too much of a burden on a small company. That the consideration should be what is the damage, and there should be adequate liability to cover that. I'm hopeful that in the next week or so we will raise this liability limit from the laughably small number of $75 million to at least $10 billion. And I thank the gentleman for joining me in this effort. The American public is crying for it. They want to know that in law and in fact, BP will be held responsible for the damage they've done.
I thank my colleague from New Jersey, and again, thank him so much for his participation tonight and his leadership, especially in leading us in a legislative remedy. I want to end with this. On June 10th, 2008, one of our colleagues actually said the following: there are 3,200 oil rigs off the coast of Louisiana. During Katrina, not a single drop was spilled. Actually, 600,000 gallons was spilled, but more than 7 billion barrels have been pumped from these wells over the past quarter century. Yet only 1/1000th of 1% was spilled. We would suggest that John McCain revisit his reservations about ANWR and run against the drill-nothing Congress. Energy development and the environment are not mutually exclusive. In fact, this Republican colleague said, we would suggest that the first joint town hall meeting with Barack Obama proposed by McCain be held on one of those offshore Louisiana rigs. Surely I hope our colleague did not mean this rig, the one that blew up, caught on fire, cost a number of lives, and led to the largest environmental disaster in American history. Mr. Speaker, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back.